Hi, we are Sean and Yu Zijun. This is our cloud computing assessment for CNCO. For this project, we built a simple web application using AWS servers in AWS Academic Learning Lab. In this presentation, we will briefly explain our system setup, the main AWS servers we used, and what we learned from this project. Our goal was to deploy a web server that is secure and scalable using AWS. The system includes VPC with public and private subnets across two availability zones and EC2 instead for the web server, EBS for storage, cloud watching for monitoring, and our application lab plans. This setup helps improve security and reliability, and it can be easily scaled in the future. For IAM, we use the predefined lab role provided by AWS Academic. We did not create our extra user roles. This keeps permission management simple and follows the principle at least privilege. We created a custom VPC with public and private subnets into availability zones. The public subnet is connected to our internet gateway, while the private subnet uses our NAT gateway. An EC2 instance was launched in the public subnet to act as our web server. The security group allows HTTP traffic on port 80 and SSH on port 22. We successfully connected the instance using SSH and access it through its public IP address. We installed a Apache web server on EC2 instance. When we open the public IP address in our browser, it shows managed cloud assigned web server running. This confirms that our EC2 instance network configuration and security settings are working correctly. Okay, next, my partner Sean will explain how we handled scaling, monitoring, storage, database setup, load balancing, and our overall reflection on the project.
Hello, I'm Sean, and now I'll be talking about the scaling, storage, RDS, ALB, and the final reflection. So for the scaling and monitoring, in order to improve reliability, the termination protection was enabled, which is in the EC2 instance, which helps with the accidental deletion. So the instance type was upgraded to support higher workloads, and we also used Amazon CloudWatch to monitor system performance, including CPU utilization, which helps with the proactive performance, which is like the management as well as the scalability planning. And now for the storage and storage expansion and backup, we attached an additional Amazon EBS volume to the EC2 instance to expand the storage capacity so you can like fit more capacity in it. And then the volume was formatted using the ext4 file system that is mounted into the directory of slash data. So an EBS snapshot was then created to serve as a backup. So like just in case that helps ensure the data durability and allows future recovery if needed, just in case something were to happen. Now for the RDS the Amazon RDS. So we designed a Amazon RDS MySQL deployment within the private subnets using a dedicated database subnet group across two different availability zones. And these security groups were configured to allow database access specifically only from the EC2 web server. So this was, while doing it, there was an error because the AWS Learner Lab environment, it restricted there's a create instance action. So it basically restricted that command. And we found out that it was not a configuration error, but it was more of a security setting that had to be changed. Now for the load balancing and auto scaling, we created an Amazon machine image from the EC2 instance to support feature scaling in cases of um, a scale would ha were to occur in the future. And an application load balancer was configured across two different public subnets to distribute incoming traffic. And also, the EC2 instance was registered in a target group, so it passed the different health checks successfully and ensured that the traffic was routed using the DNS endpoint, which is the ARB DNS endpoint. And now lastly, for the reflection and conclusion, through the assignment, we gain hands-on experience with real AWS infrastructure, like from the labs we learned throughout the semester. It was all combined in order to do this assignment. That includes like networking, security, scalability, and also monitoring, so that ensure everything goes to plan. And a major challenge that we faced through the assignment is that we had to work within the limits of the AWS Academy Learner Lab, especially for like example the deployment of RDS. And we addressed this by documenting the issue clearly and verifying that all required configurations were correctly set so that it won't it was emphasized and it won't happen again. And overall, the project helped us build a better understanding of how cloud services work and also improves our group as a team. I mean, our teamwork. And it helps us build a secure, scalable web application that can be passed on into real world environments. So that's it for our presentation. Thank you for listening.